Man, we got another good one for you today. We're building ladder bars. I know you don't want to miss that. Stick around, check it out. You know, if I keep beating and banging at it, one day I'm going to have a rat rod. Yeah, this is really happening. This is going to be an awesome rat rod, by the way, guys. These ladder bars are going to be strong. If you ever do utter the words, I broke my ladder bars, that'd be God's word for you making too dang much horsepower. Man, this is a dirty job, but somebody got to do it. Welcome back to Rat Rod Bob Builds and the little shop where dreams come true. Next thing is to build ladder bars. But before I do that, I gotta get the frame centered with that line, front centered, back centered. I gotta get the rear end centered this way and centered this way with this other line. And get the ride height set. And then I can start taking measurements and building ladder bars. We're gonna make it happen. Hey, it's gonna be great. So it took a little bit, but we got the frame dead center with the line. I got the rear end dead center with the line. We got the frame level. I got the pinion angle set at about 1.5 degrees. I got this about 1/2 inch lower than where it comes out of the transmission, so it should be perfect. Got the rear end lined up this way, so it'll shoot straight down the road. So we ready. Everything's lined up where it needs to be, so we're ready to go. Build some ladder bars. What I done, I made some templates for my brackets. This is gonna be the rear end bracket. And this is gonna be the bracket that goes for the front mount, which is gonna be this pipe going across the frame. So I gotta make 4 of those. Actually, one of them, well, I'll show you when I get to it, but actually one of them is gonna be a little bit different because it's gonna be on a little angle, so I'll show you that in a little bit. Yeah, make brackets. We got our brackets made. Well, they're 95% made. We still got some fine tuning to do on them. And this is, I guess this is way longer than it's gonna be, but it's gonna be on kind of like an angle like that. These are gonna weld on here. Not bad for rednecks, huh? Then up front, we're gonna have these. Well, yeah. Gotta adjust that angle, get that right. This pipe's gonna weld in between the frame. This is gonna be the front mounts. And I got 3 holes for, put it in the middle position, but I got down and up for a little bit of tuning anyway. I'm not gonna be drag racing. Don't need a lot of tuning, but I figured while drilling holes, might as well drill some more since they're so much fun to drill. So we got a long way to go. But since I don't have a CNC plasma table, I mean, you see me freehanding and we had to grind, make them, we got 4 or 5 hours, me and Don both working on these brackets. So it's a lot of work. But they come out good. They're gonna be fine. Couple things you might want to know. For my ladder bars, I use a 5/8 fine thread solid heim joint. And I had to weld in the bungs. The tubing was a little small for the bung. So I made this tool. I heated it up to the end of this tube with the blue wrench and used this to forge this down in there. So I forged the end a little fatter. And then I welded the bung in. This one, I didn't have the bolt screwed in when I welded the bung. And all that heat shrunk that bung and it got tightened up, so I'm having to tap it to get the thread loosened up where it turn easy. So yeah, that. When you weld your bung in, it's probably a good idea to screw a bolt in it, weld it, let it cool down, and then take the bolt out. Or if you got a tap, you want to re-tap, that's fine. Either way works. So what I done wasn't done, I just clamped me a little 1/2 inch square across there, and I got a mark where I want the angle to be on both sides, and I lined them up to that angle and attacked the back brackets. And very important, before you clamp both these brackets together, you want a little shim. I use a piece of sheet metal. I made me a shim out of a piece of sheet metal, you see. So when I tighten that up and weld it and take that bolt out and that shim out, that heim joint will slide in and out easy. Otherwise, it'll always be in a bind, be hard to get in and out and all that good stuff. So yeah, a little shim. Plus you're gonna paint these, that'll take up a little bit, yeah, shims. I used an angle finder to go across those bolts right there. And I get the same angle. Yeah. So once I got one tacked on where I wanted it, I got the angle. And I made sure this one is on the right same angle when I tacked that one on, just so you know. Yeah, right across those bolts. Because that's the most important part, the bolts anyway. So I know you guys are saying those bolts are like way long. And the reason I got them long, I got the bolts where the shank come all the way through here. And that's why I got a washer on each side to take up any slack I need in that. I mean, you see the shank. Well, this is for the front. See, it's gonna be a lot longer too. So that bushing center is this long, so this, I mean, if I got the bolt the right length, it'd be like that. It'd be threads up in there. It's not good. I mean, this ain't gonna never break. This is like 5/8, but ain't gonna never break, but just to be on the safe side. So when I get done, I'm gonna cut these bolts off. Just a little bit past that nut, cut it off right there. Just so you know, it looks like it's too long. It is. It's gonna get cut off. You might think those ladder bar tubes look a little small, but J-rays if you look at ladder bars, if you Google ladder bar kits, J-Ray makes a kit. They use a 7/8 outside diameter, and this is 1 inch outside diameter. So it's bigger and fatter than J-Ray's. And most ladder bar kit use one bracket, a 1/4 inch bracket thick. I'm using two 3/16 brackets, so, and sandwich it together like that. So mine is stronger than the average ladder bars out there. So there's that. This is the brackets for the front, you know, the bushing. I got 3 spots. I'm gonna start out in the middle, but I got 3. I can raise them up or lower them down. And they look pretty good, not using a plasma table or a water jet or whatever. I mean, they could be better. We still gotta dress them up a little bit, but hey, who cares? It's a rat rod. But the main thing is we got the holes perfect. We clamped all 4. We made this 2 on each side. We clamped all 4 of these together, drilled the holes. So, and you notice when you line those holes up, one little thicker here, wider there, is because they're gonna go on an angle. So we still got to fine tune the fit there, but yeah, those are 3/16 too. So that makes the what, 3/8 total, I guess. Well, I got a long way to go, but I'm just pointing out what size stuff I'm using. You know, it's 5/8 bolts and 1 inch tube, 3/16 double brackets. Yeah, these are gonna be really strong. J-Rays is a little smaller, and they state on their description that handle any kind of horsepower you throw at them. So, we just gonna, 300, might get 300 horsepower out of 302, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm saying probably around 300. So those ladder bars are plenty strong enough. So if you break these ladder bars, that's God's word for you got too much horsepower. I got my 2 bottom bar made. I got Don help me out. What we got to do is get them both. No science. This is highly classified scientific rat rod calculations. But anyway, I got these shaped where this will fit. And you put them both together. Can you hold that where it won't roll too? Yeah, you put them both together. You can see they're the same, exactly the same. So that's what we want. So I can go ahead and tack. These are bottom bars. I go ahead and tack these on. The struggle is real. So what we done went done. Got Don here helping me out again. So hey, appreciate it, Don.
Yes, sir.
So we bolted the 2 bolts together so we keep it from whoppy jawing. And we got that tacked on. And we done the same to that side, but we already took the 2 bolts out. We moved that up to the center hole, which is where I want it anyway. And put the bolt back in. We got the cross tacked in, cross member tacked in. We got the brackets tacked on to that. Now we need to make the top bars. So that's that. Beware, men at work. So we got the ladder bars tacked together. Got the top bar cut fit, tacked in. Got a little kicker bar in the back tacked in. So now we can unbolt them out of there and get them on the table and weld them up. And I got a gusset. You'll see in a little bit. Weld that in. Ladder bars will be done. Of course, I hadn't welded up the brackets. Still got to weld all that up too. But yeah, ladder bars. Yeah, them ladder bars got to be fine. They got to be great. You can see I got that cross brace. I put another kicker, and the cross brace is at the bottom, welds to the bottom of the frame, and that kicker goes up to the top. And that's double triangle. It keeps the frame rail from wanting to do this, and it keeps that cross member from wanting to. I mean, that's a lot of 300 horsepower pushing forward on that right there. So, yeah, it'll be fine. It's gonna be fine. That gusset I put in there, I added some lightning holes, so it kind of matched the engine mounts. Not to mention that looks cool. So yeah, I've done that. My welding is not that great on those ladder bars, so while I was adding some ugly weld, I went ahead and added a little more ugly weld so I could grind it back down kind of smooth and still had a lot of weld left. So yeah, there's that. But they're gonna be fine when I paint them. I'm gonna paint all this bare metal look, so it's gonna really look good. Really, really look good. Just for your information, these front pivot points should be lower than the axle. All right, the axle's here. These is 3 or 4 inches lower, because what happens is you want to, if the axle's a little above those points, it tends to like push down on the car right there, so you get better traction. I mean, you don't want to push down too hard, and you definitely don't want to push up, because if you push up, you lose traction. So yeah, you want that. They recommend at least 3 inches below the axle, and mine's like 4, maybe even 5. So yeah, you can see I got 3 adjustment points. I mean, I probably never had to use that. I mean, I'm not gonna be drag racing, no competition. It's just a rat rod to have fun with. So I got about 1.5 degree pinion angle coming up just a little bit. Of course, the ride height is still gonna come up a little bit in the back. From where it's at now, it's kind of like the low point. And you see my seat is gonna sit like here. I don't want this bar to come up and hit the floor under the seat, so yeah. But we're gonna be okay. I think it's gonna work. If it don't, we'll fix it and make it work. So I got the ladder bars pretty much welded up, but all the brackets and everything else, cross member, I don't have none of that welded up yet, just tacked in place. So when I get to where I can take it apart, I'm gonna flip the frame over where I can move it all around, get to everything and weld it up good. You're gonna wanna stay tuned, because next video, I'm doing the coilover mounts, mount the coilovers and the pannered bar, you know, to keep the rear end, hold the rear end centered, you gotta have a pannered bar. So yeah, that. So I got the frame centered with that center line, front and rear. I got my rear end the right distance this way, and I got it lined up with that other line to keep it straight this way, so it won't dog track going down the road. Don't want that to happen. Don't want no dog tracking rat rod. When I got that engine from Wesley, it didn't have no drain plug in the oil pan. It was on the engine stand, and no oil was running out of it, so I'm assuming it didn't have no oil in it. Wrong. It still got oil in there wanting to get out, so red dirt. I'm about to see if I can't get Wesley to turn me on to plug that oil pan. That'd be great. So you guys leave me a comment, let me know how I done. If you think it's gonna work or not work. If you see something I might have messed up on, let me know. Man, this is gonna be so cool. You just gotta love it, you just got to. I hope this is inspiring some of you to get out and build stuff. Oh, speaking of inspiring, you can inspire me. Hit that subscribe button if you hadn't already. I'd really appreciate it. It'll really help me out and get stuff done here. Does this give you the warm fuzzies or what? Yeah, that Bud Light sign done lost its entertainment value. Well, heck, I can turn the light back on now. Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah, speaking of entertainment, Brent Half-Ass Customs, his shop burnt down. I mean, he builds stuff like this too. I'll put a link in the description to his YouTube channel, and he's also got a GoFundMe. His stepson set up a GoFundMe, and he's doing pretty good. He's gonna be fine. He likes to build stuff. He's not gonna stop building stuff. He just got a minor hiccup. Shop burnt down. Well, that's not minor, but he got a major hiccup. His shop burnt down. Several of his projects up in the shop, all his tools. The link to the GoFundMe is in the description of this video. So yeah, Brent Half-Ass Customs. Yeah, brother in arms needs help. All right, guys, we getting it. We just ain't got it yet. Appreciate you. See you next time. Man, that's a lot of work. I'm taking the rest of the day off with pay. In case some of you are wondering, I give Red the week off for good behavior. So Red didn't work out as a director. He didn't work out as a welder. I told him just take the rest of the week off with pay. Take a break. Cut!